Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Davis.
I'm Damon.
Today we're working on a 2018 Acura MDX. We're going to be installing the hitch as well as the wiring harness. We'll list the part number at the bottom in the description so that way you can look it up and know which one you're ordering for your car. We have a couple of tools that we'll be needing for this installation. Damon's going to go over the tool that we'll be needing, and then we're going to lift up the car and start the process.
Okay, so pretty straightforward, very simple. We will need a 22 millimeter socket, and if you have because we're working in the shop, so if you have a air power tools, then go ahead and use your air power tools, or you can use simply your cordless, but make sure you have a 22 millimeter socket. And then we have here a cordless drill with a 10 millimeter socket. And then we also have a few, a flathead screwdriver and maybe just a little tool just to remove the plastic cover so we won't damage the plastic. It is a brand new car. So this is the Curt. It comes with the tow hitch. It's the wiring set that we will also be installing, and we will list the part numbers for your information. Okay guys, so for this process, what we're going to do first is we're going to remove the spare tire. Make sure you remove the spare tire first before we install the hitch. And by doing that is we're going to lift up this trunk cover. Okay, so once you remove the trunk lid cover, right away you'll see all these your spare tire tools, your jack, and all your tools that's needed to remove your to change your tire. So first we're going to remove this cover, this little rubber grommet here. That way we can gain access to the spare tire. We have to use this tools here, and then just insert this tools in, and then we could just crank it counterclockwise, and then you can see slowly the spare tire is dropping down.
So once you got the tires removed, you can now lift up the car. So this is what we're going to be doing, and then we'll proceed in installing the hitch. Okay, now that we got the car raised up, of course you got the cable that's holding the spare tire hanging here. We just kind of put it right here just to get it out of the way really quick. So if you notice to the left and the right, there are pre-drilled holes already. So that way when you mount the 22 millimeter socket for the hitch, it practically goes in really smoothly. So as you can see right here, there's three. So this part you can't see, but there's three holes that's pre-drilled by the manufacturer. This is a 22 millimeter. You'll be needing this. It comes with a washer, so don't forget to use your washer. There's three on each side. I won't show you the other side. It pretty much looks the same, but essentially this is pretty much it.
So the package does arrive with the bolt that's needed for the installation. So there should be a total of 6 22 millimeter, also with the washer. And make sure that you put the washer, the taper side, make sure it's facing upward, because if you look closely, there's actually little tiny grip that actually will prevent the washers from backing out, so the bolt won't come loose. So make sure you install it this way. Okay.
Okay, so typically if you are at a shop that does a lot of installation on the hitch, there's also manufacturers out there that actually make a hitch lift, so that when you hook the hitch right at the bottom, right down there where Damien is pointing to, you can lift the entire hitch up by yourself if you're doing a single person installation. But since we don't have one of those hitch, we're going to need a two-man installation process here. and we'll show you how to do it. I'll be holding it for him. He's going to tighten it. We're also going to be using a makeshift jack right here, so that way it will help hold the lift up temporarily for us.
Okay, so here you can see that we have the 322mm bolt that is installed and it's torqued down, and on this other side you also have 3 more 22mm bolt, and that basically held up the whole hitch. And we'll just remove this cover.
So while Damon's doing that, I want to point something out really quick for you. So we have the electrical part that's going to be used to connect the hitch to when you mount another hitch and when you tow something. So a lot of the videos that you see out there, they tell you just pretty much hang the wires in the back or only expose it when you really need it. What we're going to do is we're going to do a full permanent installation. And underneath your trunk here, you'll notice there's a couple of garment, rubber plug right here. What we'll be using is we'll be removing these, and we'll be running the cables up into the trunk, so that way we don't have to worry about exposing the wire, back and forth every time you mount the hitch. Okay, so we're right under where the tire is. This is the hole where we're going to be using to run the cable through. This is the electronic parts to connect the hitch to when you're towing your component. So essentially we're going to be running from the top down, and that's the module that's going to go down right there to where the hitch is. All right, we're going to lower the car and we're going to start installing. Okay, so right underneath this mat is where the grommet is. As you can see, there's a hole right there. Where Damon's thumb is, that's where we're going to be feeding the cables through. So a couple of things before we begin. We're going to need to remove the cover right there. This is where all the fuse is at. The electrical unit that comes with the hitch has fuse with it. We will show you where to install the fuse and what voltage of the fuse to use. But essentially we need to remove that cap. We need to run the cables through so that when it plugs into the car, it's integrated into the system. Go ahead, Damon. So we're going to be running the cable from the back, which is against this area where the trunk is, and then inside the plastic area, or at least the bezel area, that's going to plug directly into the car unit's electrical system. As you can see, there's a plug at the bottom right hand corner right there. Okay, so this is inside the fuse box with the electrical unit that comes with the kit here. You have a couple of fuse. You have a fuse for the main cable, which we will be using in a few minutes, and then there's a couple of other fuse that you need to put in. I believe there's a 7.5 fuse, foam fuse, that you need to use and plug right here at this one, and then there's the other piece that's right here as well, 7.5 right here. We'll be putting it in and we'll show you exactly where it is.
These are 10 amp.
Yeah. Okay, so 7.5 goes right here, right underneath the 10, and then the 10 will go right underneath the 15 right here. Okay, and then the 10 amp is going to be going right here. Not sure if you can see it due to the light, but this is the area that you'll need to put it in. So the 10 is going to go in between the 20 and the 15. So at least this is you know where to plug it in. You can use a needle nose pliers to do it. That's a lot easier, but I choose to use my hand, so it's fine. We can get it in and we're good. So the other plug that goes in, essentially, that comes with the kit is like this. This will fit in automatically, or at least, you know, nicely into this built-in plug right here. So we're gonna run the cables behind all these plastic area right here, right? So it's gonna come up like this underneath all the others. And then it will go directly into here. I won't plug this in yet because I need to plug in some additional fuse before that. So this is the area that I need to plug in, and there's a fuse that comes with the unit, and it's essentially another 10 right here, if you can see that there, directly in here. Yeah, give it a little push there. Once you're in, cover it up, and then this part will go in. Make sure the notch on top of this goes on top of this plug right here. Here you go. This notch goes on top of that notch, so that way you have a perfect fitment. So we're gonna plug this in, and then we'll zip tie this down so that it doesn't rattle when people are driving. Okay, and there it is. Now we're gonna zip tie these down. We're gonna run the cables through underneath this cover right here, and then that goes all the way out to the where the spare tire is and the hitch area. So this is the hole again that we're going to be running this down. That's pretty much it. So don't forget, there's also a ground wire that you need to plug in. Or what you can do is you can remove this 10mm right here. It's underneath this piece of plastic, so I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but it's right underneath here. Remove that 10mm nut right here, or screws right here, and then just connect the ground cable into that. So it's also nice to have an extension for your 10mm. The easiest way to get into that 10mm down here, you can't do from the top because you know it's an angle. So you got to lift this piece of plastic up, stick it underneath, and that's how you're going to be able to reach that 10mm. And slide it through. Okay, it's in. Connect the drill back.
Just push it down here. Yeah.
Get that magnet. So here's the white cable, the ground cable that you'll need to use. Plug this back in and then screw it right into where you just removed the screw from. That's literally it. Okay. That should be it. Ground cable's in. The little box is in right here. A piece of plastic box. We'll come back to this a little bit later. You know, we're probably not going to show it, but we're essentially just going to zip tie this to this piece of plastic bracket back here. That will hold it in place so it doesn't rattle. But since we already got the, you know, the cable run to the bottom of the trunk, I think we're in good state. We just need to clean it up, zip tie it together, and we should be good. Okay, so this is the rubber grommet that we remove. So what we're trying to do here is we're pretty much cutting it through and then feeding the cables through and reuse the grommet so that, you know, water doesn't come up when you're driving the car. So Damon just made a quick modification, quick hack, and that's literally it. We just got to install this in, run the cable through, and then zip tie it together. Done right here. It's nicely wrapped together. We'll go ahead and we'll remember to cover this, and then we'll work at the bottom. We'll lift the car up a little bit so that we can continue to run the cables and clean everything up. Okay, so we got the car raised. As you can see, this is where the cable come out of. We're going to run the line all the way down to the bottom, and then, you know, properly secure this with zip ties so that it doesn't rattle when the driver is driving the car. So remember, when you run these cables through, be careful, because when we remount the tires back up, which is right here, the spare tire back up, we don't want it to, you know, give the cable any kinks or any of that, so that it will continue to function for a longer period of time. Okay, so as you can see in the back here, the car is still lifted up, but it is fully mounted. From the rear, you shouldn't be able to see anything. The hitch is mounted directly into the frame area with 6 22mm bolts, 3 on each side. This is under the car, of course, and we ran the cable all the way up into the trunk, so that way it goes directly into the control unit box. Now, before we drop the car, remember to let the cables back down. This is where the tire is going to start mounting in, and we're going to be lifting the spare tire back into its rightful position. So we're going to drop the car a little bit, but not all the way, so that we can mount the tire back, and then from the top we will go ahead and you know, scroll the cable back together, and that's it. As you can see, you know, in the car, it's pretty much ready to go. There's no splicing of cables or any of that nature that you need to worry about. It is plug and play pretty much. So remember, this is the tool you'll be using, and this is the hole you'll be sticking the tool through to wind up the spare tire. I will show you underneath what it looks like. We reattach the cable, and let's even get some light here. We attach the cable, Just gonna let it sit, and then once we start rolling or scrolling the cables up, it was just pull the tire up for us. Much done. You know, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. If you know, if you like one of our you know, our shirts that we got here, do let us know, because we will actually ship this out and give you guys a couple of free shirts for you know, for you guys here. So we're hoping that if you are, you know, 80th subscriber or 100th subscriber, we're also going to send you a shirt. Just let us know. Thank you.